Hollywood is mourning the loss of Brittany Murphy this morning. The 32-year-old actress died Sunday from what officials say appear to be natural causes. An autopsy is planned, reportedly against the wishes of her husband.
Are you surprised by the evidence that's already coming out in the criminal trial?
No, I'm not surprised. I experienced some of those things. Witnessed violence.
The courtroom saga involving Sean Diddy Combs has taken an unexpected and startling twist, dragging in names no one saw coming. The high-profile trial against the hip-hop titan, facing serious charges including racketeering and human trafficking, has now pulled into its orbit whispers about the late Hollywood sweetheart Brittany Murphy and the once all-American boy next door, Ashton Kutcher. And trust me, the intrigue here runs deep and dark. Could Ashton Kutcher's testimony—
dishonest, violent, horrible. A promiscuous swinger who lied to and cheated on multiple partners. Incredibly, that's how Sean Diddy Combs' own lawyers described the billionaire music mogul, currently facing serious trafficking charges in a New York court.
Be the critical piece that finally unravels the decades-old mystery surrounding Brittany Murphy's sudden and tragic death? Let's dive headfirst into this jaw-dropping scandal that's shaking Hollywood to its core. Picture this: Sean Diddy Combs, once at the absolute peak of fame and fortune, now finds himself sitting in a cold, unforgiving courtroom under the intense scrutiny of the world's eyes. The charges leveled against him are nothing short of staggering. Accusations of orchestrating sordid freak-off events, coercing women into unspeakable acts, and weaponizing his vast empire to silence anyone who dared to cross him. If found guilty, Diddy could be facing decades behind bars. But just as tensions reach a boiling point, another name drops into this explosive trial, sending shockwaves through pop culture: Ashton Kutcher. His involvement is as baffling as it is chilling. Rumors now swirl that Kutcher's testimony might not only sway the outcome of Diddy's case, but also finally unravel the haunting mystery surrounding the tragic death of Brittany Murphy in 2009. What secrets is Kutcher holding? And why has he chosen now to speak? The courtroom drama has already exposed a cascade of horrors. Prosecutors laid bare Diddy's alleged dark world: substance-fueled parties, blackmail involving explicit videos, and an entourage used to maintain a ruthless web of control. The room gasped as messages between Diddy and his ex, Cassie, were read aloud, some romantic, many explicit, and several deeply disturbing. Cassie, now a mother and key witness, painted a grim picture of manipulation, violence, and coercion. She described horrifying moments where Diddy allegedly dragged her by her hair, kicked her, and threatened her career with damning blackmail materials. Amid these shocking revelations, whispers of Ashton Kutcher's mysterious role began to spread. "The things I experienced with him were monstrous. It almost destroyed my life," a source claimed. Kutcher, the charming actor best known for That 70s Show and his high-profile marriage to Demi Moore, has kept a low profile in recent years, but his connection to Brittany Murphy, his co-star and former girlfriend, has always been clouded in mystery. The two dated briefly during the filming of Just Married, and although their relationship ended, Kutcher's comments about Murphy's death have sparked speculation for years. Officially, her death was ruled pneumonia complicated by anemia and prescription medication. But Kutcher has publicly called her passing, confusing, and sad, while insiders say he harbors far darker thoughts. How many others passed through that orbit? How many could have suffered the same fate? And how did it all stay hidden for so long? Now, as Diddy's trial unfolds, insiders whisper that Kutcher's testimony might be explosive. Is his decision to come forward driven by guilt, fear, or the crushing burden of secrets he's carried for over a decade? Rumors suggest Kutcher was either witness to or had knowledge of Hollywood's darkest corners, a world where powerful figures like Diddy were connected to unspeakable acts. Some even speculate he knows details about Murphy's demise, hinting she might have been another victim in a toxic industry web. her life cut short by forces far more sinister than anyone imagined. Then there's Brittany Murphy herself, an effervescent starlet whose bright career was shadowed by rumors of weight struggles, substance use, and a toxic marriage to Simon Monjack. The HBO documentary What Happened? Brittany Murphy reignited interest in her story, exposing the toxic atmosphere she endured in Hollywood and the questionable motives of those closest to her. Murphy's husband died just months later under eerily similar circumstances. Officially, both deaths were natural causes, but conspiracy theories persist, suggesting foul play and implicating powerful entertainment figures who may have seen Murphy as a threat. The fact that Brittany was so young and surrounded by people who were supposed to protect her has left many wondering how this tragedy was allowed to happen. Official explanations never satisfied the public, leaving an air of mystery and suspicion hanging over the case. As the tangled connections between Diddy, Kutcher, and Murphy surface in the courtroom, it has become a stage for speculation and intrigue. Diddy's defense team, already weighed down by damning evidence, is reportedly blindsided by the potential impact of Kutcher's forthcoming testimony. Could this be the tipping point, not just for the trial, but for public opinion? And what happens if Kutcher's words even remotely link Diddy to Murphy's death? Inside the courtroom, Diddy, once the confident mogul, was reportedly shaken by the rumors of Kutcher's involvement. His legal team has tried to dismiss these claims as baseless gossip, but the jury is listening closely. The tension is thick, and every revelation tightens the knot around Diddy's empire. The allegations include what insiders call Wild King Nights, intimate gatherings in hotel rooms or Diddy's own home where guests indulged in dark, secretive acts. Preparation of these rooms allegedly involved baby oil and Astroglide, setting the stage for disturbing scenes. But the biggest question still hangs heavy. Why now? Why, after years of silence, has Ashton Kutcher decided to step into the spotlight? Some say it's a strategic move, an effort to distance himself from Hollywood's darkest shadows. Others believe it's a genuine quest for justice, not just for Murphy, but for all who have suffered in silence. Whatever the motive, one thing is crystal clear. Kutcher's testimony could change everything. I thought he was this clean businessman who rose to the top because he was powerful, smart, and educated, one insider said. But when I saw the lifestyle he led, I realized this man had an addiction, something not once in a while, but every day, every hour. As Sean Diddy Combs' trial continues, the world watches with bated breath. The allegations are horrifying. The stakes are sky high, and the connections to Hollywood's darkest secrets are impossible to ignore. Could this trial finally uncover the truth behind Brittany Murphy's tragic end? Will Ashton Kutcher's testimony bring justice to a star taken far too soon? And what other buried secrets might emerge as this saga unfolds? So, I listened to all the artists he turned into superstars, and to even get the chance to be signed by him, it felt unreal. It was like, oh my God, I'm here. I finally made it. But, as the courtroom drama around Sean Diddy Combs unfolds, the shadows of his past only seem to grow darker with each new revelation. This isn't just the story of one man's empire collapsing under damning allegations. It's a saga of power, betrayal, and decades of unanswered questions involving some of the biggest names in music, film, and beyond. At the core of it all lies a chilling pattern that has the world asking, how deep does this really go? Could Diddy's downfall finally unlock the secrets behind a string of high-profile tragedies? Many victims have stayed silent, too afraid to come forward, afraid of what Diddy could do, professionally or even personally, within the industry. For years, this dark secret has been buried, but we can't ignore the eerie parallels between accusations against Diddy and the suspicious deaths of other celebrities once connected to him. Take Biggie Smalls, the legendary rapper whose 1997 assassination remains one of music's most haunting unsolved mysteries. Biggie wasn't just any artist on Diddy's Bad Boy Records, he was the crown jewel, the star that helped launch the label to superstardom. But behind the glitz, their relationship was complicated. Insiders have whispered for years about tension, with some claiming Biggie wanted to break free from Diddy's control. Could his brutal drive-by shooting in Los Angeles have been more than random violence? Was it orchestrated to silence him forever? And if so, who gained the most from his death? This isn't new territory. Back in the early 2000s, journalists and former cops hinted at a conspiracy involving powerful music industry players. The infamous East Coast versus West Coast rap feud wasn't just rivalry, it was a manufactured spectacle, exploited by label execs behind closed doors. And when Biggie started questioning the narrative, did that seal his fate? Fans have been asking these questions for over 20 years, and now, with Diddy's trial underway, we might finally get some answers. Honestly, it's hard to even process. When something you love is ripped away and life moves on like it doesn't matter, it crushes you. Even 21 years later, you're stuck in that moment, but the chilling connections don't end there. Just months before Biggie's death, Tupac Shakur was shot in Las Vegas, another case shrouded in mystery. At the height of the East Coast-West Coast feud, Diddy and Suge Knight reportedly fanned the flames behind the scenes. But court documents have revealed darker allegations that Diddy may have played a role in planning Tupac's murder. Dwayne "Keed" Davis, the man accused of orchestrating the attack, claims Diddy offered a massive sum to handle Tupac and Suge Knight. While Diddy denies it, his name appears 77 times in related legal papers, raising serious questions. Could the man fighting for his freedom now also be tied to one of hip-hop's darkest chapters? Then there's Kim Porter, mother of 3 of Diddy's children, whose unexpected death in 2018 sparked endless rumors. Officially, pneumonia caused her passing, but those close to her say the story doesn't add up. Albie Jor, former partner of Porter and father to one of her kids, has openly called her death a tragic assassination. He speaks of silenced voices, missing evidence, and powerful figures desperate to keep secrets hidden. Could Porter have known too much about Diddy's alleged actions? Reports say her memoir contained explosive truths, threatening to expose those in his circle. Friends and family say Porter acted strangely in the days before she died. She was reportedly planning legal action against people connected to Diddy, but the details were never revealed. Why? And why was she urged to stay? Quiet? One insider revealed Porter feared for her life. She knew too much and wasn't going to be silent forever. If true, it paints a disturbing picture of a woman trapped in a dangerous web of power, trying desperately to escape. There are also rumors Diddy physically abused Kim. One source claims he broke her nose on a yacht. Cassie's story echoes Kim's. Cassie's book is basically Kim's book. The parallels between Porter's case and the allegations against Diddy are impossible to ignore. Prosecutors have portrayed a man who uses his wealth and influence to orchestrate and cover up horrific acts, silencing anyone who challenges him. Could those same tactics have kept the truth about Porter's death hidden? Some even claim her memoir was tampered with, pages swapped to hide the truth. Bro, when people talk about force, they think it means a threat or violence, but it's deeper. It's the mental hold he put on her, placing her in impossible situations at critical times in her life. What's even more unsettling is that Porter's devices, her phone, computer, even personal journals, went missing shortly after her death. Albie Jor believes these items could blow the lid off not only her case, but Diddy's entire empire. And the timing? Suspicious, to say the least. Porter's death happened right when several women were gearing up to file lawsuits against Diddy, raising serious questions about whether her silence was forced to stop more fallout from coming to light. Could her personal files have held key information linking these events together? And if that's true, who's hiding them and why? But maybe the most chilling part of this whole story is the pattern of suspicious deaths and tragedies tied to Diddy. From Biggie Smalls to Kim Porter, from Tupac Shakur to others whose names are only whispered in hushed tones, these connections are too many to ignore or chalk up to coincidence. Insiders say Diddy's empire wasn't just built on talent and ambition. It was woven with manipulation, control, and fear. Could that web have trapped anyone who got too close? Anyone who threatened to expose the darkest corners? Do I think so? Absolutely. Every man is capable of something, but I believe he's very capable of this. It's in his nature, that arrogance, that hunger for power, the selfishness that comes with it. That's who he is. Meanwhile, as Diddy's legal team scrambles to mount a defense, the courtroom has become a stage of chaos and confusion. Reports say his lawyers are overwhelmed by the sheer volume of damning evidence and testimony. And then there's Ashton Kutcher. His decision to testify has sent shockwaves through Hollywood and the trial alike. Why now? Why has he chosen this moment to break his silence? What secrets will he reveal about Brittany Murphy's mysterious death, a tragedy that's haunted fans for years? Murphy's passing was officially ruled accidental, but the details have always been strange. She was young, vibrant, full of life, and yet her health declined quickly in the days before she collapsed. Her husband, Simon Monjack, died just months later under eerily similar circumstances. Could their deaths be linked to the dark world of power and privilege they lived in? Could Kutcher's testimony finally shine a light on the forces that may have contributed to her untimely end? And here's something to think about. Men who abuse women often have feminine traits themselves. It takes a coward to put hands on a woman. A real man is strong enough to walk away, to handle things differently. Putting hands on a woman is the act of a boy, not a grown man. As this saga continues to unfold, one thing is clear. This isn't just a trial. It's an unmasking, a reckoning for a man whose life and career have been marked by both incredible success and deep controversy. The allegations against Diddy are shocking, yes, but they also shine a harsh light on the culture of silence that's allowed powerful figures to act without consequence for far too long. What other secrets will come out as this trial moves forward? Who else will be caught in the fallout? We can't help but ask, is this the beginning of the end for Sean Diddy Combs? Or is it just the tip of the iceberg, a peek into a world of corruption and exploitation that goes way beyond him? With new evidence emerging and more voices speaking up, the stakes have never been higher. This trial isn't just about one man's guilt or innocence. It's about justice for those who've been silenced, forgotten, and left behind. So, we leave it to you. What do you think? Could this trial finally bring closure to the mysteries surrounding Biggie, Tupac, Kim Porter, and Brittany Murphy, or are we only scratching the surface? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for all the latest updates on this explosive story. Together, we'll dig deep and uncover the truth, no matter how deeply it's buried.